Everyone, thanks so much for joining me at OpenDoors.la. I am your writer and host, Ethan Cancula, and today I am joined with Wee Rose. What's going on, boys?
Yo, thank you for having us, man.
Oh, of course. Pleasure. It's a
Really
pleasure.
excited to do this interview.
Stoked.
Did the set. Yeah, we're very excited. Thank you for having us.
Of course, man. Of course. So let's start from the beginning, yo. Where did you guys meet? What was that like?
Well, I'm Will, and that's Evan.
Evan,
And we met in Boulder, Colorado. We both went to the University of Colorado, and I graduated a year before Evan. And we met in some classes, like really, really early in our college career. It's kind of weird.
yeah. And so I would always see Will like producing in class, and I DJ'd a lot in college, like didn't produce at all. And so yeah, so we met in Boulder, and like we were like acquaintances. Like after the fact, like after we like were producing for a while, we like kind of found out that like we were like rivals in a sense. Like we both
What?
we both like we were competing with each other in a sense, like getting
Just
gigs.
like unspoken
for
notes.
sure,
Like I was
dude.
always jealous of his gigs, and like because I DJ'd a little bit too in college, and he like was just stoked that I was a producer and always wanted to learn. And we
Yeah.
both kind of took like some producing classes at Boulder here and there, just like really, really beginner stuff. But
I
it
feel like,
lights that spark.
yeah. I feel like everybody has that, though. Like, in your own artistic career, there's like a person that you kind of know, and you're always
Yeah.
hoping that you're like, there's just this unspoken thing, and I think that's kind of magical in a sense, right? And the fact that you two were able to be like, yo, let's just like combine forces. Is that kind of
Well,
like,
like what ended up happening is so like Will graduated. I went ahead and did senior year. We didn't speak that entire time. Like I said, like
An
we were
entire
friends,
year.
but and then I started making music. I was like, okay, I've been DJing for like 6 years. I'm like, let's make some music. So I made something. I sent it to Will. I was like, hey, like whatever. Got back in touch with him, asked him to master it, and he sends it back, and it's like a totally different song, but it's
I like tweak it. I don't just master it. I'm like, oh wait,
it's
I
like
could
the
do
best
something.
thing that I technically ever made, I guess. And so I was like, yo, let's like actually meet up and like have a session. And then in the first like 5 days, we made what was the Whisper remix, and we were like,
what?
we were like, okay,
Bro.
First weekend.
like we
First
work
weekend.
well together. Yeah, like literally one of our like best and most our favorite song. It's still Whisper, and that was like the first thing we did together.
That's the Boombox Cartel. Is
Yeah,
that
yeah,
the-
exactly.
okay? Yeah, it's known as the whisper track. Like that's what people are calling it. And
The
right
Whisper.
now, bro, right now it's sitting at like over 100K views on SoundCloud,
Yeah.
which is like
Yeah.
what an achievement. And that was your guys' first one. That was like way to like
Yeah, we kind of hit
start
the
it off
ground running
strong.
there.
Yeah, for sure.
There was
You
kind
got
of the like a little bit of the beginning of I would say the peekaboo phase, and maybe it was happening for like 6 to 8 months before we dropped that track, and we just kind of were hearing that like trap style that we really fucked with, and we just like we actually wanted to emulate it, and that track started as a completely different song that I took and actually remixed, and then Evan and I pulled it apart together and totally like just like changed the inner workings, created like this trap genre that was at house tempo. We didn't create that idea, but we just like leaned into that house trap aspect at that tempo. And yeah, when the vocal got layered over there, it just was like the track just went up a level because you could just grasp onto that so tight, and you
Sure.
could just like be so stoked, and it was completely different from the original song. So
Now you guys do have another track out right now on your Spotify that has like 500,000 views. It's called Time, right? Yeah, it has. Check it out, 500,000 views on your Spotify track. Will's like, I didn't even know that. No way.
yeah,
No way.
what?
So, yeah. So check it out. Yeah, totally check out like where that song is. It's called Time, and it has a mix, and it says it's with Alice in Wonderland. Is there anything you can give us about how that came about or what the story is there? Because like that blew up too. So it's really
Yeah,
dope.
that was a dope one. That was so sick.
Yeah. I mean, it's crazy. I mean, so we were working with someone early on who like kind of took the role as a manager, but like was kind of just a friend as well.
Mhm.
So he reached out to Quix's manager and he's like, hey, are you guys doing remixes or whatever? And he sent us the timestamps. So we worked on it. We made a remix. We sent it back. and he responds like, "Oh wow, like Quicks loves this, whatever." And then like I don't know, like
Keep in mind, we took like a week. We took like a week to make the whole song. Like we wanted to get it back to Quicks while we had his attention, you know.
And so it took a few months, but we ended up. So the remix pack released for Time, and we weren't on it, unfortunately. And then like 3 months later, I'm scrolling Twitter, and someone tweeted, they're like, "Yo, you got to check out like the second drop that Alice in Wonderland drops. And it's a video of like EDC Orlando, literally like
Main stage."
And so I'm watching. I'm like, "Ooh, this is cool. Like, wonder if she's gonna drop." Literally, she drops Time. She drops the Time remix. So she dropped the original first, and then she dropped Art second. And like it was like the second to last song of her set. And I literally like I'm watching this video like uncontrollably, like tears.
Oh yeah,
yeah, dude, for
like,
sure.
Tears, and like I call Will immediately, or I send Will the video first, and then I call him, and like both lost our mind.
I was driving and I was freaking out.
Pretty
Oh
much,
my
we
God.
kind of just like reached back out to her team, like, "Hey, like we just saw this video. Is there any way we could possibly just release this song, like a part of the official remix, unofficial remix, like whatever it is?" And Quicks' manager, who's really, really nice, he added us to the pack.
And that poses like the $1 million question, right? Like, what makes a popular track? You know, like there's of course like a lot of elements of like quality and like, of course, like people have to like it, but like, what do you think like takes a track and makes it popular? Because there's even some great songs that never even get listened to, you know? So
yeah, that's obviously the problem, right?
Loaded question, yeah.
There's great songs that don't get listened to. So the answer isn't quite simply as make something catchy, make something that people will like. You know, there's nothing that you can say that will like make that valid. But what I've kind of learned and with the songs that I've seen from us that get successful and the songs that I've seen that get successful in the real world, like they have this aspect of like realness to them. They have this aspect of like you can almost hear and feel like the studio and the surrounding, like you can feel the vibe in the simplest terms, like and I think just overthinking and trying to make something perfect and trying to make something like good, like even to you, like I don't know what good is anymore after working on this music for so long. Like I'm so glad that I have Evan in the studio with me to help me validate like what's happening, and same vice versa for him. And when we work with Yo Joss, that kid is crazy, and we make some really cool shit with him because we literally just mess around the whole time. We just mess around.
And speaking on what Will was talking about, like overdoing, like trying to do too much to your songs, we literally have like 15 different masters of that Time remix. Like,
oh yeah,
the first one we sent them was like the complete wrong one, and me and Will were freaking out that was the one that was gonna get released, and like it was not good. But yeah, like honestly, like it was the one we ended up using was one of our early masters. So it's like, and then honestly, like to like dive a little deeper, it is about the music, but it also is about like your brand. And like when you're released, like that $1 million, I mean, whatever, the big song, whatever, it's a lot to do with the music, but it's also a lot to do with how you release it, the branding, etc. Which, to be completely honest, that's what I feel like me and Will need to work on the most.
100%, yeah.
Because both of us, I mean, Will taught me everything I know. I say that Will was like a free icon. Like I sat next to Will for like like a year pretty much, and like broke it all down. And now I know what I'm doing, and like I'm trying different things than he would do. But yeah,
this man sends more ideas than I can even like listen to. Honestly, like I listen to everyone, I promise, but
it
I
takes
do not go delve into everyone. Like this man loves Ableton, and I love to see that.
That's dope. That's dope. Yeah. So your music genre, let's talk a little bit about that, right? Because when I listened to your music, I felt like I was getting mostly house EDM, right? But what I also am finding is like a lot of trap and like hip hop beats. So like, where do you find your music genre? Is it like trip? Is that like what you're drawn to? Right? Is there anything you can speak about?
Yeah, I mean, I think trap that you can jump to at that house tempo, like I really love that. but we really, I mean, we're all over the place. Mostly
For
just
sure.
bass music, bass genres, like double time, like house. That's definitely, we have a couple of drops like that. You know, at the I'm Fine remix is house at the end. You know, we got I think Show Me. Is there a house section in Show Me? I don't know, maybe.
Yeah, at the end.
Yeah.
Okay. So what are you working on that is experimental, maybe breaking out of that box, things that you haven't tried? Is there any new kind of piece that you're kind of creating that is like nothing you guys have done previously? Because you have like a list of things that you've like already checked off. It's like, great, done. Next thing, great, done. Next thing. I love to see that. So like what's the experimental part? Like what's going on? What's new?
We have I mean, to be honest, we have a lot of really cool new future-based songs coming that are really different than, honestly, that I've really heard. There's one San Holo inspired one we watched. I think it was his Desert Mirage set, and it was just really, really cool. And I just went to town. I sent it to Will, and Will was like, "Wow, this is the best. It's like one of the better things you sent me." And he worked on it immediately. And then we have some cool collabs in the process as well. We have a song coming out with Rossi. I'm really excited about. That song is very different, future-based song. And then to be really honest with you, we have you can call it hybrid trap, but it's like dubstep, honestly, type of stuff. So I mean, like Will said, we're kind of all over the board, but we have some some kind of feels type of songs. We've just a lot done. To be honest. Yeah.
I think we're really just stoked on how much, how many different types of music we can make, you know? Yeah. So I started in future bass and melodic stuff for sure. Evan more on the hip hop and trap side, but I've always been a trap lover and a trap DJ basically. So with the new music that we're bringing out, you know, it's like future bass with that super hip hop influence bass lines and the kind of heavier side of bass music with those future bass over the top and not even your classic future bass sound either. You know, we're kind of going for some new melodic vibes, some trap 2 type beats. So whatever that might be, don't ask, please don't ask. But yeah,
is that coming soon?
Definitely melodic, and in the next couple of months, I'm sure we'll start seeing some pretty cool tunes. We'll see.
Yeah, we're kind of we're sitting on some stuff, not really quite sure what to release right now. But we have songs done, and we just need to figure out self-release, send to labels. It's a process, and so we're just trying to figure it out right now. But
for sure. We
will be releasing stuff soon.
Well, cool, man. Everybody make sure you keep checking out their Instagram page at We Rose Music on their IG. Yeah. Make sure you check that out. In the next couple months, I guess we're going to be getting something new. I've been your host, Ethan K. Kula. Peace.